national search is already going on, and judges, Sierra Leonean judges and prosecutors are now being trained, and that is going to continue until we get full capacity here. So this is serious. So to those who think we don't have the capacity, they want to commit the offenses, I have bad news for them. This should serve to tell all those who are genuine, sincere and faithful users of the digital space, is to assure them that they will be safe. To those who think they will do otherwise, they should be warned. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So allow my colleagues now to actually raise actual questions.
Okay. So, Mr. Minister and your ministry, former minister, and your former ministry, I'm actually still wondering why wasn't the bill popularized when the media is a great estate in the state, and the media is a place where you can easily share false news and promote someone. I was a victim during my senior secondary school days, and I know how mentally affected I was being a cyberbullied victim, and I know what I went through, how I survived that incident. So my question is, what provision does the Act provide for the victims, the cyberbullied victims?
Well, so this is a very tricky one. I'm going to ask for. Yes. Justice is assured for cyberbullying, victims of cyberbullying, and once that is established, apart from the criminal liability aspect of it, you could also have right to seek legal redress, civil legal redress. So that's provided for. But very recently, you may have followed this. His Excellency the President, during the 76th session of the United Nations General Assembly, actually, piloted the bill, Yes, so that victims of sexual offenses, most of these things are there, also could be, they will mainstream there and begin to talk about how to support victims, now, the world around the world. So, but to assure you, we're going to do a lot of public education around this. The victims will get justice. The culprits have long jail terms to serve. And in addition, the victims could have recourse to civil remedy. So there are ample provisions for that. Again, we are doing a lot of public education for potential victims to reach out, so that we can support them. But I'm sure once this starts, other mechanisms will be put in place, working with the Gender and Children's Ministry and others to ensure that victimhood does not deny our girls an opportunity to realize their fullest potentials. Yeah?
Okay, another question. What is to be done to increase the knowledge in the group of citizens that are in the provinces or in the villages? What is to be done to that?
Okay, so first let us note we have started public education even before Parliament asked us to broaden the scope of the consultations, right? This is a law that will virtually affect the lives of every Sierra Leonean, everybody residents here. So one of the pillars we have in our cybersecurity strategy is public education, public awareness raising. Like I mentioned to you, we are going to use technology, we are going to use boots on the ground, we are going to use the digital space, every weapon available in our arsenal. We are going to ensure that we use it to ensure that we are able to reach every nook and cranny with the key issues in this legislation. Yes, we already started that. We'll do this through partnerships, working cooperatively and collaboratively with other groups to ensure that no stone is left unturned. This is very important. Like I mentioned the statistics to you, about 87% of citizens are connected by mobile voice. About 25%, and that is growing rapidly, are connected on various digital social media platforms. So that's a substantial part of our population. So we need to reach out to them with the key. Because some people really send messages, other people send them to say, give them the messages to send, messages which they themselves cannot send. But because of low digital literacy, they do it unsuspectingly. So we want to catch those ones and educate them, so that if you cannot send it yourself, why do you want me to send it? They begin to ask those kind of critical questions. So that's it. Yeah, we work with the media, multimedia approach, digital space, work with civil society, educators, peer learners, and all of that, just to make sure that the message about the cybercrime bill is out there and popularized.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay,
Yeah, come.
Honorable Minister, sir,
Yes, ma'am.
the offences are clearly stated in the bill, but there are no stated penalties for the perpetrators. You made mention of 15 years jail time, but you are just brief.
Okay. So at this stage, Mr. Jallo, you're going to bring that law here. Yeah? No, but just to, you might be reading the wrong one. No? This is the correct version, eh? So there are clear provisions in the law. Very, very, very clear provisions in the law. Okay? I will just go through some, particularly to allay your fears. A person, including a corporation, partnership, or association, who with the intent to defraud or misrepresent, forges through electronic devices another person's signature or company mandate, commits an offense and shall be liable to conviction to a fine not less than 10 million leones and not more than 30 million leones, or to a term of imprisonment not less than 1 year and not exceeding 3 years, or to both such fine and imprisonment, and in the case of corporation, partnership, or association, to a fine not less than 50 million and not exceeding 100 million. Bring me the cyberbullying bit.
Don't.
Just give me the cyberbullying bit. Yeah. So there are clear offenses here and penalties for violations of any provisions in the law. Okay, so let me read for you provisions relating to your concern now on cyberbullying. A person, including a corporation, partnership, or association, who individually or with another person willfully and repeatedly communicates, either directly or indirectly, with another person, if he knows or ought to have known that his conduct is likely to cause the person apprehension or fear of violence to him, or damage or loss of his property, or detrimentally affects that person, commits an offense and shall be liable on conviction to a fine not less than 30 million leones and not more than 50 million leones, or to a term of imprisonment not less than 2 years and not exceeding 5 years, or to both such fine and imprisonment, and in the case of a corporation, partnership, or association, to a fine not less than 100 million leones and not exceeding 250 million leones. Okay, so look at this other one. A person, including a corporation, partnership, or association, who recklessly or intentionally sends a message or other matter by means of a computer system or network that is grossly offensive, pornographic, or of an indecent, obscene, or menacing character, or causes any such message or matter to be so disseminated without consent, or he knows to be false, for the purpose of causing annoyance, inconvenience, danger, obstruction, insult, injury, criminal intimidation, enmity, hatred, ill will, or needless anxiety to another, or causes a message, commits an offense, and shall be liable on conviction. So it's taken care of. Yeah, very well. So does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Because they say we poor mango or get all mango no say get beef. So we will go now to the media and tell the guys.
Yes. We're going to organize something for you later, some workshop or something. Am I free to say that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Minister,
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
don't you think that digital literacy should be introduced in schools?
This is an interesting one. Well, my personal opinion, I think so too. Digital literacy should be introduced in schools, particularly for those of us who narrowly missed the boat, who are struggling to catch up with it, and we're in leadership. I think it's very important that, yes, we are BBC, born before computer.
Yes, I think, we are currently working on a new digital development policy, and one of the thematic areas in the policy is the digital skills. And when we talk about digital skills, we are not only talking about the coders, those who will be doing the system development, we are talking about the citizens themselves, the guards, and every other city, so that you at least are able to compete. You know, the world is going digital. So if you don't have the skills, we are not going to compete. All the important things that are on the internet, if you don't know how to use it, you will not be able to use it. Our people in the village, they should be able to use mobile money without the third party interfering into their privacy. Because what happens now is when you send money to your parents in the village, they give it to somebody. Sometimes they even lie for them, nothing on it. So we want to upskill those kind of skills so that they are able to compete in the competitive world that is ahead of us.
So
And
are there measures already put in place for that?
yeah, so definitely that's why I say that it's a core component of our policy shift in terms of digital development, digital skills and entrepreneurship. We want to create the next generation of Mark Zuckerberg in Sierra Leone. We want to create the next generation of people that can develop Sierra Leonean specific apps, but as well as citizens that can use those apps. So it's not just about making the app, but the citizens themselves. So public education and awareness is a core shift in our policy in terms of digital technology.
And also, what are the measures for online hackers?
Well, so the cybercrime bill is one that is going to address. There are specific laws on unauthorized access. So even your phone, if you don't give the passcode or the password to somebody and the person enters your phone, they've breached your privacy. You can actually sue them. You can actually take criminal action against them. It's in the law. Unauthorized access, unauthorized interference, unauthorized interception. So for instance, if you're talking to somebody and somebody intercept that communication and listen or something else. So the cybercrime law is actually very comprehensive to safeguard our safety in the digital space. You know, the vision of the president is to create a digitally inclusive society. So we want to ensure that as we participate in that space, we are safe and our privacy is maintained.
But sometimes you don't give your password, but some people will go, take your photos, put them in a Facebook, saying that is your account.
Yeah. So it's illegal now. So it's illegal. There is a law to it now. You can actually, and we are developing the capacities to investigate those laws. You know, the difference between digital crime and the normal crime is that the evidence is very volatile, it's difficult to get. That's why in Madam Yoma's presentation, she was talking about you keeping the evidence. Because if you delete it, you've lost the evidence. That's the only evidence. And in the court, they are going to ask for evidence. It's not like a murder case. You know, when they say they don't kill somebody, when you go there, you see knife, the crime scene. But in the digital crime, when you go to the crime scene, you don't see anything physical. Everything is digital. So that's why we are building the capacity of the police to investigate digital evidence gathering. We are building the forensic lab for them, and then the center that the minister was talking about will support them to ensure that, for instance, interfere. Let's give chance to her, and then you come back again. No, the questions are not for me; it's for the minister. I always support him.
They will support me.
Okay, Mr. Minister, sir. As we all know, Sierra Leone is slowly moving in the digital world, and us girls have taken the venture on us to start online business and buying and selling through platforms like Alibaba and the like. So my question is, what are the measures put in place to protect us girls from credit or debit card bullying and fraud?
Okay, so I have this very interesting story that I like to share all the time. You were all here when we introduced the cybercrime law. Yeah? Everybody said, oh, it was for their WhatsApp conversation. That is a joke. The cybercrime law targets a lot more serious issues than that. You just mentioned some of them. You people are digital. You know about Hush Puppy, right?
Yeah.
This Nigerian chap who sat in Dubai and made and got more money than sense. Yeah? When they raided his apartment, he had $40 million there, raw cash, apart from all the others. These are loans, these are monies that governments around Africa look for the longest time before they qualify to get it. He had it, you know, right in his apartment. So there is this other guy, this other story in Nigeria. I listened to this on TED Talk, the former Nigerian Anti-Corruption Commissioner, the EFCC Commissioner, he said on TED Talk that in the course of doing an investigation, he stumbled upon another crime. A group of Nigerians who sat in Nigeria They robbed a bank in Brazil, $254 million. The bank collapsed and the bank governor died. Yeah? So these are serious offenses. So when we talk about putting laws in place, people bring the joke, they bring politics. This is not politics. Should we wake up one morning and find one of our commercial banks completely robbed using digital means? If we do not have a law, we can't even get started. If we do not have a law that makes provision for international cooperation, we can't even get started. Right? So all these things. So, but with the establishment of the national SAT, with the enhancement of the capacity of the Sierra Leone Police Forensic Lab, I am told with enhanced capacity, even if you delete, yeah, they can regenerate the things you deleted. Yeah, so that's the kind of capacity we're going to give them. So it's going to help them a lot to be able to track down issues like this. Credit card fraud and others are things clearly provided for in the law. That's interception, forgery, and all of that. You know, they come under that, and they are very serious offenses that the law might send you down for 15 years, 10 years, apart from restituting whatever you have stolen from the person. So these are taken care of. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
As we all know, there are so
You know,
many...
let me say this. You know, you have asked more serious questions than anybody has ever asked me on the cybercrime law. I'm really, really appreciative. Not so? The other people ask this funny question. This is more grilling than anything else anybody has asked me. I like it.
Yes, sir. As we all know, in Sierra Leone, there are so many laws made. And how strong is the implementation of this law your ministry is working towards?
Well, I know those laws have been presided over by other ministers. This one is going to be presided over by me. I have already told you the bold steps we have taken. We are bringing here a national SAT, National Computer Incident Response Team. That is supposed to be in the millions. Government has not spent 1 Leone. We are able to canvass support from the European Union. They are supporting ECOWAS to deliver that for us. I think Sierra Leone is among 3 countries that benefited from that. We're also benefiting from training our personnel. So they are training the personnel who will be manning that national SAT, right? They have also started, like I mentioned to you, we started training the judges. Later in the day, we'll meet with the Chief Justice so that we can talk about more customized training for the judges here and the judiciary and prosecutors. I have told you we're also enhancing the capacity of the police. So this is different from other laws that stay on the shelf and gather dust. Now, as long as I'm here, you will see this role that was done. We're going to make digital space secure and safe for our people.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Former Minister. As you can see, today is our day. So we are very sorry to cause you any inconvenience.
No worries.
But today is our day, and we need to make sure that what we are trying to ask is what the girls out there want to hear, want to ask also. And so, Mr. Former Minister, we actually have a petition here that we want you to sign. It reads that our petition is urgently asking the government of Sierra Leone to educate girls and all children in digital literacy. Girls need to be able to identify false information online so we can stay safe. And all young people need to be able to question information and check facts before they believe and share it. We need the access, knowledge, and skills to be online with confidence, to find information and create and share content. So, Mr. Former Minister, we want you to sign this petition. It's for plan, actually.
Okay, so I'm only accepting this former minister for the next 2 hours. Because I should not hear that.
Amen.
Done.
Member of the team.
Also, I want to call here members of the team to sign.
No. Sorry?
send the picture. This one. Huh? I do something like that.
Yes.